1. So throw out the ladder on a night like tonight, because even though the Wanderers come in last place with just 1 win for the season, it was a 5-1 win against Western United when these teams met back in December. Western United have been on a pretty steady climb ever since, but they do need to win tonight if they want to finish the weekend inside the top 6. Here are the fixtures. Concurrent with tonight is Sydney FC against Adelaide United, so get the multi-screen experience going. Tomorrow you've got an F3 derby, a Melbourne Derby, and Canberra against Perth Glory. And the Brisbane Roar take on Wellington in a vital game for top 6 seeding in the early match on Sunday. You can find all games on Paramount Plus and 10 Play. A very warm embrace in the tunnel there between Chloe Lagazzo and Amy Harrison. Of course, former Matildas teammates, former Sydney FC teammates, but tonight they are opposing captains for this one. It's the first time these teams have ever met in Tarneet. Previous occasions that Western United had hosted the Wanderers took place at City Vista, which was only a temporary home ground before moving to Tarneet this season. So here come both sides out onto the surface. And the Western Sydney Wanderers will be hoping that they can continue their exceptional record against Western United and taste victory for just the 2nd time this season. So let's take a look at how these sides are lining up. Western United make no changes to the starting 11 that drew 1-1 away in Adelaide last weekend, with Catherine Zimmerman scoring the only goal. There's been one change on the bench, a bit more defensive cover coming in with Claudia Miocic back from a minor glute injury suffered against Canberra United a couple of weeks ago. She replaces Emily Roach. And as handshakes take place, Carly Johnson, you can see there, the number 10 for Western United, is still in a 4-way tie, leading the Golden Boot on 7 for the season, with Melbourne Victory's Em Gielnik, Brisbane Roar's Lainey Fryer, and also Adelaide United's Fiona Wirtz. The chances keep coming for the 20-year-old forward, and so can she take an outright lead in the Golden Boot by scoring here tonight? Western Sydney Wanderers make one change to the lineup defeated by Melbourne City last weekend. Madison McComiskey back for the first time since round 2 into the starting 11, and that moves Maya Lobo to the bench while Gemma Ferris drops out of the matchday squad. And when Madison McComiskey went down with a shoulder dislocation in round 2 back on the 10th of November, it looked like it might cost her the majority of the season. A return date of March was perhaps flagged in the initial stages, so it's great to see her back on the very last day of January. The 25-year-old centre-back has been desperately missed during her time out over the last 3 months. There's Kat Smith, who is, of course, a former Western Sydney Wanderers coach. She was given her marching orders just 10 days before the kickoff at the start of last season, and she hasn't been able to exact any revenge yet. She's 0 from 2 in the head-to-head matches she's played against the Wanderers ever since then. She'll be hoping to break through for that first win here tonight. The referee for this one is Isabella Cooper, assistants are Daniel Anderson and Maggie Price, and the fourth official is Kelly Jones. There's Jeff Abrahams, the Western Sydney Wanderers interim coach, still yet to coach a win while in charge of this team. Just the one draw, in fact, so far, and that was his first game in charge as the interim coach. They've been on a 3-game losing streak since. Sophie Harding loves playing against Western United, and so does Sienna Silvesca, a hat-trick in the first head-to-head meeting this season for Silvesca. And Harding has a pretty good record of 3 goals in 5 appearances against Western United as well. So whatever it is about the green and black, there are plenty of Wanderers players who have happy memories of playing against them. But in Tarneet, it can be a different ball game. The conditions certainly need it to be adjusted to, the wind and also looking into the sun. Are Western Sydney Wanderers up for it tonight? Or can Western United break back into the top 6 and put the pressure on to start the weekend? It is such a hot top 6 race at the moment. Western United coming into tonight in 7th place on 19 points, equal with the Wellington Phoenix in 6th, but well behind on goal difference, as we see Amy Chisari giving away an early foul for snapping at the heels of Mel Taranto there. Chisari, one of the most prolific foulers in the league, but it comes with the territory of always trying to win the ball. So if Western United win tonight, they can jump into 4th place on the ladder. And they would leapfrog Wellington, Central Coast and Brisbane in that process. So it would put the pressure on all of those teams, remembering that Brisbane play against Wellington on Sunday. So they'd be guaranteed to finish the round above one of them if they win tonight. Long ball here from Chloe Lincoln, headed on by Chloe Lagazzo, and now a battle in midfield. Adriana Taranto loses possession. Here's Amy Harrison, the Wanderers captain, hurried into a clearance. And now Catherine Zimmerman for Western United, playing it out into space for Carly Johnson. Out comes Sham Karmas, who got to the ball first. It's a penalty. Sham Karmas protests, but in just the 2nd minute of the game, Western United are going to the penalty spot. Johnson clearly got to the ball first, took it around the oncoming keeper. And you'd have to say that's a really good call by the referee, Isabella Cooper. Karmas continues to shake her head in disbelief. Yellow card has been shown as well for Sham Karmas, who has had a red card to her name this season. And Chloe Lagazzo is set to take a penalty here. Lagazzo, who scored the 1 when Western United were beaten 5-1 at Combank Stadium in December. And that was also from the penalty spot. So Lagazzo in familiar territory. Karmas, can she redeem herself in what's been a blockbuster first 3 minutes of action? Lagazzo refusing to look up at the keeper, just eyes closed, a picture of focus to set the tone for Western United. Lagazzo's penalty. And Lagazzo strikes true. The wait was worth it. A dream start for Western United. A horror opening for the Western Sydney Wanderers. And the opening goal arrives in just the 3rd minute of play off the boot of Chloe Lagazzo, her 5th of the campaign. Carly Johnson was in space down that left flank for Western United, and you see there Sham Karmas not really getting a read on where Lagazzo was going. Hopped one way, Lagazzo placed it the other. Good penalty. And Western United now on the live league table do jump significantly up as a result of taking the lead. From 7th to 4th with a single goal. That's how close the Ninja A-League is this season. Confirmation that Sham Karmas is in the book, and it's going to have to avoid any other major indiscretions in order to avoid being sent off for a 2nd time this season. And now the gauntlet is thrown down to Wanderers. There's another look at the penalty. Lagazzo was a picture of focus, had the eyes closed, deep breaths. He was almost motionless at times, waiting for that referee's whistle, and it was quite an agonising wait. But that's the leadership and the veteran presence of Chloe Lagazzo right there. Long ball over the top. Carly Johnson is not going to get a run at this one, and Sham Karmas takes uncontested possession. You can see the wind is a little swirly. It's not decisively favouring the left of screen, but if one side has an advantage with the wind at their backs, it is more often than not the Wanderers. Taranto did well to win the ball, but things are cleaned up by Liv Price, putting it out for a throw. Wanderers will be desperately hoping to avoid falling 2-0 behind, otherwise it might turn into a bit of a long night for them. We've talked about the potential on the ladder for Western United. The Wanderers can't move out of last place tonight, even with a win, but they could get themselves back in the conversation should they turn this around. Right now their priority is avoiding going 2-0 down. Adriana Taranto taking on Ella Buchanan, turns away. Carly Johnson. It's a natural left footer, so tried to whip it in, but Millie Bennett made a block on the cross. That's the voice of Jeff Abrahams you could hear there. The Wanderers interim coach, Millie Win Your Jewels. The instruction to Millie Bennett, the 16-year-old defender. She's played as a midfielder in some of her youth football, but her opportunity in this Wanderers senior team has come playing in defence. Western United venture forward again. Sasha Grove from the corner and wins a corner. Danica Matos turning the ball behind, so it's all Western United at the moment. Grove getting forward there to win that set piece. So only the corner taker will be looking into the setting sun here. Corners from the other side are a very different proposition, but from the eastern end of the ground, it's only Adriana Taranto who's going to have to squint a little, looking at exactly where this corner's going. But a good chance here for Western United to double their advantage. Taranto's corner, an in-swinger, and first header away by Wanderers. It was Eunice, and now Mel Taranto! What a strike! Western United have exploded out of the gates, and they lead by 2. A second goal of the season for Mel Taranto. The initial clearance from the Wanderers, Taranto with all the time to pick her mark. And a left-footed tracer bullet through the traffic. Sham Carvers can only shout in frustration. Amy Harrison, the captain, also the body language telling a story. It's a familiar feeling for the Wanderers. And they have been hit hard out of the gates here by Western United. 2 goals in the first 7 minutes. Well, in addition to having a very good head-to-head record, the other thing that might encourage the Wanderers is that Western United have never kept a clean sheet in this fixture. In fact, there's only ever been one instance of a team keeping a clean sheet in the previous 5 meetings. So as far as a guarantee of goals is concerned, it's very easy to say this when you've seen 2 in the first 8 minutes. But this head-to-head is more or less a guarantee of goals every time they meet. Mel Taranto's 4th career goal. She's almost caught up to her twin sister, Adriana, who has 6 career goals. Western United in behind again. Carly Johnson running amok, crossing the ball into dangerous territory. The follow-up is saved. And now another follow-up. Eggersvik shooting at what would have been her first goal goes wide. It was Lagazo initially that drew a good save out of Karmas. And then Eggersvik, the Philippines international, following up. The parry here into the path of Lagazo, a foot save from Karmas. And then that shot hooked wide. Relief for the Wanderers. Sham Karmas is down on her haunches here. I think she knows the issue. But is the trainer going to have to come out and look at the shoulder? Great to see the Western United men's team in the stands, almost entirely as a collective watching on. It's great to see. It's not a double-header tonight, so they've made the effort to come out and show a bit of club unity and support. And they'll like what they've seen so far, as will all the other Western United fans at Tarneet this evening. So here's another look at the dive from Sham Karmas, the right shoulder, and you can see a bit of a pained reaction upon landing. Karmas, who missed a couple of games with suspension earlier in the season, so the backup goalie, Keely Segevcic, on the bench is not totally untested at Ninja A-League level. That really perhaps should have been 3 for Western United, though, the chance that Lagazo had there. Segevcic, we saw just a moment ago, warming up with the goalkeeping coach of the Wanderers, but it looks like a bit of repairs on the run have worked for Sham Karmas, the 29-year-old who's playing career match number 83 tonight across a number of different teams. Was a championship winner with Sydney FC, 2013 grand final. Here's Ella Buchanan trying to run out of defence. Clash of legs with Julia Sardo, and the decision goes Western United's way. See possession there, reflecting the score. Western United on top in pretty much every category. Possession, territory, the eye test really, through 10 minutes of this game. Here's Julia Sato, early ball. Carly Johnson's offside this time. And she has come switched on tonight. She may not have scored to break out of that four-way tie for the lead in the Golden Boot, but she's been at the heart of everything that Western United have done so far. Buchanan, Bennett, bit of a hot potato, the pass. Saveska dispossessed immediately, but Chisari follows up, and it's a cause for Sophie Harding to go and chase towards the corner, but you can see how well prepared the surface is, because that just kept rolling all the way down until it hit the corner flag. And the wind has maybe picked up a little bit as well. Amy Chisari down in the corner, trying to win a set piece here for the Wanderers. It hits the corner flag again and goes out for a throw. Can Wanderers halve the deficit in short order with so much of this game still to be played? Talia Eunice now battling for possession. She's fairly adamant that it was a Wanderers ball, but the referee disagrees. Mel Taranto, the most recent goal scorer, tried to win a foul, and then a shot on sight from Eunice, who is still yet to score her first Ninja A-League goal, the 16-year-old. And the ball just kept bending across the face and out for a goal kick. Buchanan and Bennett. Ball given away. Isabel De Harkis tries to take the game on. Big collision. No way through for the Wanderers. There's De Harkis. Johnson tucking it back inside. Harrison. Clearance only as far as Lagazo. Switching over to Grove. Now Eggersvik. Pushes it out to Catherine Zimmerman. Zimmerman with the step over and takes on McComiskey. Zimmerman. And both teams arguing it's their ball. Looks as though it's out for a goal kick. And that was the first really big test of Madison McComiskey there. Of course, she hasn't played a match since the 10th of November and has come straight back into the starters tonight. Wasn't named in the extended squad that goes out online the day before the game. Hasn't come back by the bench. She's come back straight into the starting 11. And here is McComiskey on the ball. Pass down the line, can't find a teammate. Matos clearing. Harding, the ball bouncing on. Grace Maher, back pass. Sato. Long ball did find Lagazo, who just couldn't bring it under control. Follow up here from Saveska, but Western United will take possession. Mel Taranto out to Adriana Taranto. The Twins trying to combine here. And the offside flag is up. Didn't quite get that one as slick as they might have hoped. Mel Taranto straying offside. De Harkis. Here's the ball from Harding, but only as far as Bennett. Harrison. Now McComiskey. See Western United are hunting the ball here. Eunice, there's pressure on almost every touch. Eunice was sent sprawling, but no whistle. Bennett is caught in possession. Carly Johnson can turn and go. Johnson, does she go all the way herself? Well, maybe had a bit of a distraction there from teammate Sarah Eggersvik running across her line of sight there into the penalty area. Johnson seemingly had clean passage on goal, and this will show you, there you go, that moment right there where Eggersvik runs through Johnson's line of sight might have contributed to her hooking the shot. McComiskey. Price around the corner, cleared away by Grove. Harding trying to control the bouncing ball. Tough hard against the line, but she's done well here, Harding. Hoping for Silvesca, cleared away by DeHakis. Now Eggersvik. He's going to reset with Julia Sato back in defence, but Sato wants to keep things moving. Maybe a little too hurried as possession is given back to the Wanderers. Buchanan. Silvesca with late contact there, and Sato has stayed down. The referee whistled play dead, and DeHakis was prepared to put the ball out anyway. Silvesca goes in and offers an apology to Julia Sato. Sato, who, well, you see a tread on the left foot there appears to be the problem. Sato's 29 now, is actually a junior Matilda some 15 years ago, back in 2010, Australian under-17 team, but had some pretty devastating injuries through her early 20s before breaking back into the Ninja Ray League in her late 20s, where she's been a mainstay more or less ever since. You can see the anguish that that contact has caused, but she's pretty desperate not to leave the game. Match number 47 tonight of Sato's career. Kat Smith, the Western United coach, doesn't seem to be talking to any of the substitutes, so she seems confident that Sato will be okay to continue. Fairly earnest discussion going on between Izzy Cooper, the referee, and Isabel DeHakis. Sato's right to return to the game. So the ball back live at the feet of Chloe Lincoln. Grove. He's going to go chasing this loose ball down in midfield. Big first touch there, though. Gifted possession back to McComiskey. Silvesca. Can't keep the passing chain going for Wanderers, so another chance here for Grove. Out of central midfield. Can't find Zimmerman. Neat little flick on finds Matos, but the next pass proving a bit of an issue, trying to advance the ball into attack for the Western Sydney Wanderers. Sliced here. Great combative work by Chisari. And now Eunice can put pressure on Ma. And Ma, who is a natural left footer, sends it out towards the line. Grove able to cut the ball away from Eunice, hugging the line. And the Wanderers do have a throw of their own. McComiskey trying to step out of the traffic. Bennett. And a loose touch from Buchanan concedes possession. Buchanan right back in, trying to make amends. Wanderers going the wrong way, though. Bennett caught in possession by Legazzo. Legazzo's early ball chopped out by Harrison, and that was bending towards Carly Johnson. So a very necessary clearance there from the Wanderers captain. Throw in. Carly Johnson. Turns and faces from the wing, but has a couple of opponents in the road. Clever pass. Adriana Taranto. And at the near post, Zimmerman was diving in, but couldn't get a goal-bound touch. Really neat pass, that one by Carly Johnson. And then Taranto tried to lay off the tap in there for Zimmerman, but Madison McComiskey was wearing her every step of the way. "20 minutes gone. Western United in control on the scoreboard thanks to a couple of goals in the first 7 minutes of the game. Legazzo from the penalty spot, and then Mel Taranto from the top of the penalty area. Karmas. Bennett runs into trouble in the form of Taranto. Has got Buchanan. Buchanan's pass into a 50-50. Sato and Silvestre resume their duel. And the free kick given Western United's way. Here's another look. The grab on the shirt of Julius Sato, seen by the referee. So a mid-range free kick here for Western United. A bit too far out for a direct shot on goal and into the wind. You wouldn't suspect that even an overhit free kick would cause too much trouble. It will be Grace Maher. Landing in the pack of players, Harrison clearing. Sato brings the high ball down. Lobs it back out to the right flank and just a little difficult to control for Adriana Taranto. Grace Maher. All the way back to Chloe Lincoln. Throw in to be taken here by Grove. Ball spills. Eggersvik. See the dual count there. Western United a lot more combative in the first quarter of the game. Battle between Lagazzo and Bennett. The ball beat both of them. Harrison, now Cesari. Bennett, this time able to win a foul. It's a tough task for the 16-year-old taking on Chloe Lagazzo. We've seen Lagazzo really target the young defender a couple of times to try and win possession with the press. On that occasion, too overzealous and giving away the foul. Lagazzo brings it down for Adriana Taranto. Kind deflection as far as Western United are concerned. Maher, Eggersvik. Grove, long ball, a good ball. Carly Johnson has got Lagazzo steaming forward in the middle. Johnson tried to cut wide. The attack still going and puts it across the face. Well, it must have caught a deflection because it's a corner kick. You see there, Johnson's aim was to try and get the better of Harrison. Wasn't afraid to take the ball onto a slightly more acute angle and back herself on that tight angle. And the end result is a corner kick. And this is the first corner where Wanderers are looking westward into the setting sun. These are the far tougher corners to defend here in Tarneit. Grace Maher's left foot makes it even more difficult. Maher's corner, and off the near post. It's not away just yet. First two headers are Wanderers, though, and plucked out of the air by Karmas. Eggersvik. Another slide rule pass, trying to find Carly Johnson. McComiskey a presence this time. Not quite decisively away, but the referee's whistle does make it a decisive win in the end. The free kick going the way of McComiskey. It's good defending initially, and then the arm lock there, dragging McComiskey down. Thankfully for McComiskey, that's the good arm, not the one that was injured earlier in the season. Bouncing ball here, a little awkward for Dahakis. Silvestre trying to make a presence, and then safety first defending from Sato, just trying to kick for territory. Matos, maybe Wanderers getting a sense of an opportunity to press some numbers forward here. Eunice breaking out to the right. Talia Eunice. And well held by Lincoln. Not the most forceful shot, but you could just sense Wanderers getting interested in committing a few more numbers forward. a look here at the tight angle, and a fairly regulation save in the end. Zimmerman, Johnson, back out to Zimmerman. Foot race is on. Zimmerman, first time ball. Lagazzo not quite able to flick it to her own advantage. Instead, it's out for a goal kick. So it's been 20 minutes since Western United took that 2-0 lead, and Wanderers at least have stopped it becoming 3. Perhaps you wouldn't be so bold as to say they've got a foothold in the game in an attacking sense just yet, but at least they've steadied. Maybe they can plant a seed of doubt or two if they can halve the deficit before half-time. Price immediately under the pump from Lagazzo, who's chasing and just combative for everything tonight. Of course, Matilda's squad selection for the She Believes Cup is only a few days away. Lagazzo, like many aspirants, will be desperately hoping that she gets the call to go away with the Matildas again on international duty for 3 games in the United States. Back pass here, Harding is going to go chasing. Lincoln's got to manage this. And Lincoln decides that straight to the sideline. A bit of preventative defending is the best way to handle it. Chisari. Well, the whistle goes. Silvestre having a little nibble at the ankles there of Taranto. And that relieves the pressure for Western United.
Getting compact. No bounce.
You can see the shadows are creeping across the ground. The game will finish entirely under artificial light. Lincoln goes for distance. Taranto, Silvestre, round the corner. Harding. Lagazzo. Neither team keeping the ball for more than a touch or two at a time. Wanderers trying to consolidate here, all the way back to their goalkeeper. Camus. Be careful now, the press all the way inside the penalty area. Bennett's first touch, not the greatest, but managed to squeak it to a teammate in the nick of time. Buchanan keeps it moving. Harding bides her time. Crossfield ball, a good one. And now Matos getting forward. Numbers in the middle for Wanderers. Danica Matos, too close to the keeper. Oh, had Price and had Eunice in the box. And that's about as good as Wanderers have looked going forward so far tonight. Danica Matos, who scored her one and only career goal against Western United the last time these two teams met. Aerial duel here. Bennett gets the better of Lagazzo, and now Price. McComiskey. Harrison. Trying to switch flanks. Intercepted by Sardo. Chisari set herself for the challenge of Taranto, and now Buchanan. A tough pass to bring under control. Throw in taken quickly. Adriana Taranto. Intercepted by Harrison, just trying to calm things down. Buchanan keeps it moving. Silvestre. Silvestre goes for the long ball. It's going to bend out into a bit of open field, and that is Catherine Zimmerman's to retrieve. So half an hour ticked over now. Western United holding a 2-0 lead that tonight would be putting them 4th on the table. Long ball here, and Carly Johnson is offside. If you are enjoying the concurrent experience of watching the 2 live games at once, the other game at the moment is Sydney versus Adelaide, with Adelaide now having taken a 1-0 lead. So that would create a 4-point gap between Adelaide in 3rd and Western in 4th. And so as things stand, Western are perhaps best of the rest behind the title chasers. Bit of confusion here. Isabel De Haak is perhaps the most confused of all. Referee's got to come in and show some diplomacy here. both teams in fierce discussion here. I think it's going to be a drop ball. Yeah, my sentiments echo Sophie Harding's. Drop ball for what? I'm as confused as everyone else. I'm sure there will be refs at home knowing exactly what happened there, but the end result is that Western United have possession. Free possession for Western United inside their defensive third. You can see Wanderers standing off at the moment. Harding, Eunice, Silvesca, the front three. Not getting too interested in a press just yet. Now as Western enter the midfield third, the battles will resume. Taranto pops it over the top. Bennett. And Price a little too slick for Buchanan's run down the left. Mel Taranto able to untangle herself from the challenge of Price. Cross was deflected though. Chisari, Buchanan. All this happening in very close quarters. You can get the clearing pass. Looks as though Lagazzo's going to take charge. And all of a sudden, space is created. Lagazzo swinging it across. A big push. And no whistle for Zimmerman. Well, she sold the contact, and the referee wasn't buying. Home fans making their feelings clear. No VAR in the Ninja A-League, so the referee's decision is final. Was it the correct decision? McComiskey, well, I think Zimmerman felt contact and decided, yep, I'm gonna show the referee that I felt that contact, but you just see there, Izzy Cooper in the foreground of that shot had a perfect view to make the call. Zimmerman now trying to let her feet do the talking. Charging into the box, and a good tackle from Bennett stopped the American from progressing any further. Millie Bennett out in front of Ella Buchanan, too far out in front. Harrison shanks the clearance. Lagazzo tried to return it with interest. Well, the trajectory on the shot was swinging. So they might have designs on the top right corner, but I think from Lagazzo's perspective, she would have known right off the boot that one was going high and wide. Still, Lagazzo won tonight already, 5 for the season. It's up to 29 career goals. It's also her first goal of the new year. Here's Adriana Taranto. Lagazzo, and a corner off the boot of Bennett. So it'll be another Grace Marr corner, and the shadows still haven't crept far across the ground. Have a look at how this play unfolded. Intercept coming there from Adriana Taranto. Players shielding their eyes from the sun. Waiting for Grace Marr on delivery. Beyond the far post it goes. It's 3 for Western United. Sarah Eggersvik has come up on the end of Grace Marr's corner, and a dominant first half continues for the green and black. Pinpoint from Grace Marr, and Eggersvik leaned into the ball. Joy for her, a first Ninja A-League goal. And they'll be talking about that all across the continent, because the Philippines international has made it 3-0. And this Ninja A-League, which has had such a great relationship with Philippines international players over the last 3 seasons, it continues here tonight. Sarah Eggersvik scores for the first time in the Ninja A-League. And even though Western Sydney Wanderers might have hoped to have stemmed the bleeding and get back into this match, they now find themselves 3-0 down. Harding immediately from kickoff. Buchanan Silvestre. Chisari. Chisari's ball. It'll be fielded on one bounce by Lincoln. And now the counter-attack might be on. No time wasted. Sasha Groves away. The Canberra connection linking up. Already into the attacking half. Out in front of Zimmerman, and McComiskey puts it out for a throw. Lagazo. Late contact from Chisari. Free kick. There's no let up from Western United at the moment here. Chisari argues her case, but the late contact enough to attract the attention of the referee. Grace Maher's left foot has already created one assist from a corner. How about a free kick? It's coming from quite wide on the right flank, and it looks as though Maher will stand solo over this dead ball. Is there more pain on the way for the Wanderers? Maher. A dangerous bouncing free kick, and it's scrambled behind. Scrambled behind, but seemingly a Wanderers ball. Sophie Harding just favouring her hip there. Watch this space. She's going to try and run it off. It's unclear exactly what the infringement was. It didn't appear as though the last touch came off Catherine Zimmerman, but that appears to be what the assistant referee has adjudicated. Maher. Bit of a hospital ball, that one. Chisari came through and won it for Wanderers. Out in front of Matos. Matos, deflected by Grove, desperate to avoid conceding the corner, but can't do so. And so Western Sydney Wanderers will have their first corner of the game. Sienna Silvestre to take a hat-trick. Last time these teams played, it's going very differently so far this evening. Silvestre wasting no time over the corner, and it's in! Brilliant! Sienna Silvestre scores an Olympico goal. There's not much time to celebrate because Wanderers are in a big hole, but that is as good a corner as you'll see, and Sienna Silvestre continues her great scoring record against Western United. Oh, Chloe Lincoln won't want to watch the replay back, but that's hit the inside of the post, and Sienna Silvestre, with Wanderers' first corner of the game, has shown them what's possible. Silvestre, 6 goals for the season. And amazingly, it is 5 in 4 against Western United. So, a ray of hope for the Wanderers. And is that going to see them play with a bit more of a spring in their step in the remaining minutes before half-time? Western United desperate to reassert their dominance. Carly Johnson ran into Matos' tackle, then went and won the ball back. Good save by Karmas. I mentioned that in the 5 previous head-to-heads, there'd only ever been 1 clean sheet. We haven't even had to make it to half-time tonight for both teams to concede at least 1. Who knows, there could be a lot more goals on the way. And now we can safely say they could be coming at either end. Eggersvik out to Zimmerman. Western United seemingly reinvigorated after conceding. McComiskey and Zimmerman resuming their duel, and McComiskey clears the ball. Cross coming in from Grove. Header away. Tahak trying to consolidate, does really nicely, wanted to take on Harding, plays the ball to the advantage of Lagazo. Lagazo's got Adriana Taranto forward in support. Taranto, a teasing ball, It falls at the edge of the box. Eggersvik and then Zimmerman. A series of ricochets, and it ends with it being blasted over by De Hakis. There's a bit of pinball by the end of that move, and Isabel De Hakis, having just seen Sarah Eggersvik score her first Ninja A-League goal, was thinking, time to score mine. Not to be. Here is Ma consolidating. Western United have now conceded 16 first half goals this season, which is the most of any team in the Ninja A-League, but with 28 total conceded for the season so far. It's worth remembering 8 of them were in a single game against the Brisbane Roar, so that's certainly pumped up the numbers a bit. Midfield battle here. Chisari, a second before halftime, and we really would have a game. Saveska going from distance. And Chloe Lincoln was in the right position to avoid being beaten from way out. That's the sort of threat that Sienna Saveska poses, and she's got her tail up now after scoring one. Mel Taranto. Good first touch by Carly Johnson. Couldn't get the juice behind the diagonal out to Zimmerman, though. Chisari through a crowded midfield. Eunice legged legally. Western United come away with possession. Zimmerman. Oh, Grove was making an enterprising run down the left flank, but Zimmerman's pass couldn't bring her into play. Long ball from Karmas. De Hakis up to win the header. Zimmerman able to turn McComiskey. Lagazzo to Sato, the right back getting forward into the attacking third now. Sato is going to load up across here and slices it out for a goal kick, and Sato apologetic there. Of course, we saw her down after getting her left foot trodden on in the first half. She seems to be moving okay now. As Wanderers all shanked. And a chance for Lagazzo to return it with interest. Amy Harrison there. Well, inviting on the pressure. Lagazzo wins it back again. Carly Johnson, only one appealing for a handball. Waved away by the referee. Well, that was hair-raising stuff from the Western Sydney Wanderers, but they get away with it, at least for now. Ma pushes it back into the midfield. Really nicely done by Mel Taranto. Does she go for her second of the night? Oh, it breaks the hands of Karmas and lucks a fortune as it goes out for a corner. Mel Taranto, who already had one long-range goal, went from even further out here. And Karmas seemingly had it covered. Maybe caught in two minds between a catch and a parry. It was a deliberate parry. You'd say it was textbook, but it seemingly wasn't. So another Grey Smart corner. We've already seen one lead to a goal. Western United with Eggersvik having scored a header already. The aerial prowess of Catherine Zimmerman and Isabel De Hakis to aim for as well. Ma swinging it into the near post, and it falls into the grasp of Karmas. And a defender on both posts there helping out. When it landed in the penalty area, goalkeeper was first to respond. So the first half ticking into stoppage time, 3 additional minutes. Karmas, who received a bit of shoulder treatment earlier in the half, but has seemingly been all right to continue the game since. Last time the Wanderers came to Melbourne, they played a 4-all draw against the Victory. Could we be heading for something similar? Western United will want to keep them at arm's length here. Johnson. Grove. Eggersvik. Sato. Adriana Taranto puts the head down and sprints to the ball. Taranto cuts onto the left, cleared by Harrison initially. Lagazzo, Adriana Taranto breaks to the byline here, and Buchanan got a boot in legally. Good challenge. Had to concede a corner, but didn't allow Taranto to get across in. Ma takes the corner short. Western United mixing it up. Ma over the head of Zimmerman. Not sure if that was intended for Zimmerman or perhaps a flight of fancy to shoot on goal. Western United seemingly finishing the first half the stronger here. And as is often the case, regardless of whether it's the Isuzu Ute A-League men's or the Ninja A-League women's, teams getting to play with the wind at their back. First half compared to second half can really change the nature of a game, but often it's the team with the wind that plays the better. So Western United, having scored 3 against the wind in this first half, will be feeling as though they are firmly in control of this contest. Sato. Ball eventually found its way to Egersvik. Egersvik direct up the middle. It's all Wanderers. Buchanan. Saveska. Out to the left flank. Is there time for Wanderers to strike again at the end of the half? Price. Not much on ahead of the ball. Price cuts it back to Buchanan. Saveska. Sato makes the intercept, and now Western United could be away. Lagazzo has got Carly Johnson breaking ahead of the ball. Lagazzo plays the pass now. Carly Johnson sizes it up and puts it high over the bar, and that might be the final act of what has been a goal-filled first half in Tarneit. And as things stand, Western United are striding into 4th position on the Ninja A-League ladder. Sienna Saveska has given the Western Sydney Wanderers a ray of hope and a cause for optimism, but Sarah Egersvik's first Ninja A-League goal made it 3-0 at the time and has put the home side firmly in control after a Lagazzo penalty and Mel Taranto's second goal of the season. So both teams briskly make their way down to the rooms, and at half-time, at Tarneit, it's Western United in control, leading the Wanderers by 3-1. So let's jump into the highlights from that first half, of which there were plenty. And it started in just the 2nd minute. Carly Johnson making space down the left. Fouled by Sham Karmas, and a good call from the referee to send Western United to the penalty spot, where Chloe Lagazzo was able to dispatch and score her 5th goal of the season, first of the new year, and make it 1-0 in just the 3rd minute. Then a corner kick, which was headed away initially, but only as far as Mel Taranto, who drove it through traffic and was able to strike truly 2-0 after just 7 minutes. Mel Taranto with her 2nd goal of the season, 2 in 10 days. What a run she's been on. And that was Western United firmly in control. And then the 3rd, Egersvik rising to the header. And the combination of both Karmas and also the defender on the post, not really able to get near it. The Philippines international with her first Ninja A-League goal. And yet the Wanderers have given themselves a shout, because Sienna Saveska, with as good a corner as you'll see, hitting the inside of the post after getting the better of Chloe Lincoln, and that made it 3-1. No time to celebrate. Wanderers straight back to the middle. So let's take a look at what the numbers say about the game. Western United shading possession and chances. They have been the more combative team. Tackles, duels, all reflected in Western United's control of general play and the scoreboard as well. They lead at half-time, 3-1 against the Wanderers.
enjoyable environment for everyone. And we ask you to respect the players and match officials by remaining in the seating bowl. And you can make it with Ninja. Barbecues are better with electric grills that sear and char like a gas grill. Plus, you can also barbecue, smoke and air fry outdoors. Backyard bashes are better with pizza ovens that give you crispy crust, high heat roasting and barbecue smoking. No matter how you're spending your time outdoors this summer, bring the indoors outdoors with Ninja. And there's a mountain of football on Paramount Plus. The only place to see every A-Leagues, Combank Matildas and Subway Socceroos games. Live stream every game, every goal and every moment live on Paramount Plus. And get ready to cheer. Just like Liberty supports the A-Leagues, they're on your team too. Whether you're planning a holiday or buying a new home, they can provide the assist you need to kick your free-thinking goals. Liberty, loans for free thinkers. There's no better way and better time than now to get behind your girls in green by grabbing one of our season 24-25 women's kits, featuring sharp collars and bold retro features, including that famous cover banding down the sides. Now available in new sizing, starting from a teeny tiny size 2. Make the most of today's matchday exclusive sales, including a special back-to-school deal. Buy a Western United pencil case and get a Western United pen for free. All Western United members receive 10% off all merchandise, so be sure to sign up as a member today. There are membership options for everyone, from full season to 5-game memberships, men's and women's. Visit our website for more information. And halftime is the best time to be sure to head down to the Western United bar and kiosk. We have tasty food on offer with hot dogs, a delicious chicken burger.
So halftime at Ironbark Fields, and even though a few of the fans are rugged up, it's been pretty hot action out on the surface with Western United leading at Western Sydney Wanderers 3-1 at halftime of this Ninja A-League contest. Of course, it's a bumper weekend of action, and the Melbourne Derby is one of the games on tomorrow. Today, this afternoon, it was announced that kickoff has been moved to 6 p.m. Melbourne time, Australian Daylight Savings Time. Let's now hear a match preview from former Sydney FC star Teresa Polias and your host, Narlene Masto.
It's the headliner, a top-of-the-table clash between Melbourne City and Melbourne Victory in the Ninja A-League. Teresa, Melbourne City coming off that 1-0 win against the Wanderers, and what was quite impressive was their defence. It was Taylor Otto and Rebecca Stott so strong at the back. What makes that partnership click?
Look, they're both such great and experienced players, and they're ball-playing centre-back, so they're happy to go for a wander forward and be involved in the build-up play of the team. So when one goes, the other knows to stay and keep things safe and organised at the back. So their partnership has just gone from strength to strength this season.
Tactically, this is going to be an interesting one because both sides dominate possession and the play. So who do you think is going to kind of be driving the tempo here? Yeah,
it's going to be really interesting, and games like this tend to be won in the middle of the park where you've got your ball players and they battle it out. So I think that'll be the key in this game, whichever midfield can get a stronger hold on the game, I think that'll be the team that wins the game.
One player that we cannot take our eyes off at the moment is Alana Jonchevsky. What a free kick she scored in that last game. Probably one of the best we've seen, I would say, in Ninja A-League history. What have you kind of made of her development into this side since joining?
Well, there's been talk about it being the goal of the season. So, yeah, really amazing stuff. You can see the passion she has when she pulls on that victory jersey. You know, she's playing for the club she's followed since the beginning, and she's wanting to make the most of it in every match. So she's brought plenty of physicality to the team as well as, you know, being a technician, but she's been, you know, her set piece ability has been so invaluable, and we saw that exactly what she can do against Sydney FC.
The most impressive thing about Melbourne Victory this season is that, yeah, they have the second best attack, but they've also kept the most number of clean sheets as well. How difficult is it to balance the two? Because it seems like Victory are doing it seamlessly.
Yeah, look, they've really grown into this season, I think. They have a team full of stars on paper who are now really starting to find their best form. So whether it be in terms of scoring goals or playing well in possession and creativity, and you mentioned, defending too. So it's been so well organised under the guidance of Kayla Morrison. So between the six, though, we can't forget Courtney Newborn. She's been outstanding as well. So all those elements are what add to a team's confidence and balance. So that's helped them build form to where they are now.
Well, it's 1v2. You don't want to miss it. In the Ninja A-League, Melbourne City taking on Melbourne Victory. It's live, as always, on Paramount Plus or 10play.
So let's go inside the Victory camp. We'll hear from Coach Jeff Hopkins, but before that, Golden Boot leader Em Gilnick and Captain Kayla Morrison.
Round 2 against City obviously didn't end the best way.
Kenner volleys on. Speckmeyer was off and running, anticipating the pass. Speckmeyer! Will that be the Derby winner? And a 3-2 lead for Melbourne City.
In saying that, I think that we've kind of got our defense together now, so it'll be a really good matchup to kind of go up against them again, see what we've improved on, see if we can match them, our backline against their front line. I think they are a big threat going forward. In saying that, though, I think we are also a big threat going forward with our speed, which is something City struggles with in the back line.
Low, clever pass. Flannery take 2 on the cross. First time again. Yachevsky! A dream come true!
I think it will be a good matchup and a good chance for us to kind of redeem ourselves.
Yeah, look, I think a derby's a derby anyway. This is our derby. And we have to stir the pot a little bit. We think we're good enough to handle you, and we do. So it's going to be it's one of the things I'm really looking forward to.
And true from the penalty spot here. Career goal number 57 and 3 for the season for Em Gilnick brings the victory level.
It's obviously going to be a massive game, so I love playing City. I think we step up as a team when we play against better teams, so I'm looking forward to it being a very, very different match. City right now are essentially the top dogs, number one. We want to push them off the table, so we're itching our way towards them. It's just about dominating them right from start to finish and playing better and being crucial in the final third. So definitely for me, it's all about 3 points, nothing less.
So that's the Victory perspective. Let's go inside the Melbourne City camp now. We'll hear from their star attacker Holly McNamara and coach Michael Matriciani.
I think these type of games, there's always moments and elements of physicality that you need to win your battles. I think that happens in most football matches, but I think the context of the game and the derby and the emotions that will come with the big pressure matches like this, yeah, you need to win your battles, and I think it's going to be like that. They've got quality, we've got quality, so hopefully it's a good spectacle for everyone, and hopefully we can win that battle and score more goals than them.
It's definitely been a slower one this time, but yeah, it's kind of on track for all things. But yeah, no, it's definitely been slow, but no, it's good to get back into it. I think always derbies are games we look forward to. They're 100% physical. Yeah, we don't like Melbourne Victory, they don't like us, so it's kind of like that. But yeah, no, it'll be a physical game, but hopefully we can come out on top.
Yeah, strong stuff there from Holly McNamara. Don't miss the Melbourne Derby. You can watch it right here where you're watching tonight's game on 10play and Paramount Plus. And if you can get out to Control Cyber Pitch, do so for a 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time kickoff.
Amelia Bennett, being replaced by number 15, Kushla Rue.
So the second half underway, and one change for the Wanderers at halftime. Kushla Rue has been subbed on for Millie Bennett, and that has perhaps led to a bit of a formation change as well. Not a formation change, positional changes within the formation for the Wanderers. There's Kushla Rue, the halftime sub. Bennett was playing at left back, so it looks as though Ella Buchanan has gone into that position, and Kushla Rue has taken a more advanced position in attack for the Western Sydney Wanderers. Right now, though, a long-range free kick here for Western United, and now attacking the left of your screens. This is where the left foot of Grace Maher becomes even more dangerous, potentially with the wind at her back. Adriana Taranto is the right-footed option here, and is going to take this free kick onto the head of McComiskey, and through comes Sham Karmas to catch. Western United ahead 3-1 with the same 11 that started the game. There's confirmation of the change for the Wanderers. Kushla Rue's only 2 career goals in the Ninja A-League have come against Western United, so she'll be hoping that she can be part of a Wanderers comeback here. Sophie Harding is down. We saw her favouring her hip in the first half, and it appears to have played up again here in the second. Only 90 seconds in, and this is a concern because the Dolan medalist is down and hurt and seems to be in quite a bit of pain. Grace Maher is the first player over to offer some support here to Sophie Harding. You can see it's the left hip. Physio's out trying to assess. And it looks as though Bronte True has got the call. So True, the 22-year-old attacker in her first Ninja A-League season, is going to have to come on here. She's been used in more of a super sub role, so this will be a decent chunk of game time here. And the big concern is exactly how serious this injury is for Sophie Harding. You see her off the ball there. Saw her in the first half favour that hip, and yep, she just took herself out of the action and took a seat. She is really distressed here. This is not what you want to see for a player who works as hard as Sophie Harding. But it is an opportunity for the pacey True, who was prolific in New South Wales NPL, playing for MacArthur in the last winter. She's still hunting for that first Ninja A-League goal, though, as Harding makes her way to the bench. So the Wanderers made a change at halftime with Rue coming on. And now one of their attackers, Bronte True, is also into the game. You wonder if there was a treatment plan for Harding during the half-time break, and after just 90 seconds of the second half, it didn't take effect. Free kick here. Saveska trying to push the ball out to the right flank. Grove intercepted. Saveska following back up. Through the middle this time. Ball runs beyond Buchanan. Taranto. Flag stays down here. Carly Johnson. Good save by Karmas. Tight angle. And Karmas leaps onto the ball. Johnson's a player who's never afraid to run onto a tight angle and just back herself to try and finish on an acute angle, but Karmas came out and closed her down there. Buchanan, Price. Telegraphed the pass, intercepted by Sato. Zimmerman. Kush LaRue commits a foul. A couple of protests from Wanderers players, but to no avail. Here's another look at the lean in from Kush LaRue off the bench, trying to make an impact. Zimmerman back in possession, rolling and facing towards the target, but Matos is able to win the ball away. Harrison's clearance, friendly fire, deflecting off Price, and now Western United have got the ball back. Grove from deep on the left. Egersvik, one of the Western United scorers from the first half. Late contact has left Egersvik down. DeHarkins switching flanks, and the offside flag is up here against Adriana Taranto. Maggie Price over on the outer side hasn't had a great deal to do in the game, adjudicating the odd throw-in decision, but it's the first time we've seen the offside flag up for either team on that side of the ground. True, can't quite take possession. Sato came through for Western United, and now out to Zimmerman. Into space for Legazzo. Legazzo twisting around the corner and not able to keep it away from Karmas. Game remaining pretty open. 6.5 minutes of action since the halftime break, and you'd suggest there would be more goals on the way if we continue at this pace and this sort of dare from both teams, really. Wanderers perhaps need to throw the game open if they are any chance of a comeback. Slip here from True, left the door open for Ma. Grace Ma out to Sasha Grove. Zimmerman. Root. Now Eunice. Price with it all to do, up against Mel Taranto, who won the ball. Taranto, Carly Johnson, out to the right flank. Adriana Taranto. Underlapping run. Mel Taranto, the cutback's on, sliced by Matos. Luxa Fortune sliced it into the arms of her own keeper. Kush LaRue, risky ball into the middle. Price. Back to Matos. Matos going more direct. Flick header on by Eunice. Bronte True up to the ball. Now trying to release True, but Sato's across to intercept. Ma. DeHarkins. Johnson. Knocked away by Matos. McComiskey. Kush LaRue. Trying to release the early ball, and it's blocked out for a Wanderer's throat. You can see they're definitely trying to keep the tempo high here. They've got their speedsters on. They want to try and use that pace to their advantage, but right now Western United have had all the answers. Look at the shot count, 20-4. Wanderers need to get into more attacking territory. Couple of throws in a row. Matos doesn't want to hit the line again. And possession yielded rather tamely. Carly Johnson. Might have been questions of offside for Legazzo, but it's a moot point as the ball deflects back to Johnson. Able to push it out to Adriana Taranto. Taranto steps inside, blocked away by McComiskey. And that was vital. Taranto. Hooked away by Harrison, and then Price keeps it moving. Kush LaRue straight into a duel with Eggersvik. Sarah Eggersvik, who has 5 international goals in 25 caps for the Philippines, so a semi-regular scorer. Western United would love her strike rate to be something similar in this second half of the season. Dahakis. Zimmerman, first time ball round the corner. Dahakis again. Real wrestle for possession against Chisari. Referees put the whistle away. Chisari extracts the ball. Eunice can break for Wanderers. Sets it long. And Sato, an improvised clearance. Ooh, True got the first touch, but couldn't bring it under control. Bronte True slip sliding around. Of course, both teams get to warm up out on the surface, so make the decision on what sort of boots you go with. Maybe it's just the enthusiasm of being out there for Bronte True, who's still yet to start a game in the Ninja A-League. 10 appearances, all as a substitute. Ball through here. True trying to run onto the ball, and Lincoln comes out and got there first. Spilled it away, and the Western defence is cleared. Johnson. Lagazzo sizes up the options, tries for the killer ball, and it's intercepted by Matos. He's trying to wipe out the entire Wanderers defence in one pass there, Chloe Lagazzo. Nearly pulled it off. It's been a busy first 11 minutes of the second half. Taranto. Matos again. Last line of defence at the moment for Western Sydney, and she's trying to turn defence into attack with this pass here. Out in front of Talia Eunice, and the youngster can break towards the box, cuts the ball back, and only succeeds in picking out Mel Taranto. Oh, perhaps they should have turned into a bit more there for Western Sydney. They'll get another chance here. Price leaves the ball with Silvesca. Now Bronte True is going to shoot here and puts it wide at the near post. Bronte True coming off a 19-goal season in the NPL. And the winter before that, she scored 29 for the South Coast Flame down in Wollongong. So she's certainly not short of confidence in front of the target. It just needs that first Ninja A-League goal, perhaps, to unlock the potential in the National League. Here's Carly Johnson. He's going to take on Harrison here. Johnson shooting early, and Harrison makes the block. Western United yet to turn to their bench. They do have flexibility in terms of the different positions that are represented among their subs. Ball coughed up here. It's going to be a Western United throw deep in attack. Eunice against Zimmerman, tangle of legs. Zimmerman prevailed initially, and now threw Eunice to the ground seemingly, and Zimmerman's hurt herself in the process. So that wrestle has taken a toll. Zimmerman is down. In the meantime, Western United are going to keep attacking. 10 versus 11. Great header from Lagazzo, fashioned out to the right flank. Taranto. Mel Taranto is going to turn away from the penalty area. Back to Adriana Taranto. Buchanan makes the one-on-one challenge and wins the ball away. Can Wanderers escape their defence though? Eggersvik. Ball at the edge of the box for Johnson, cleared by McComiskey. Price to Kush LaRue. Zimmerman is still down and hurt behind play on her haunches. So it's 11 versus 10 for now for Western Sydney. Bronte True is able to win a throw, and now Zimmerman might get the attention. No, referee with the ball at the other end, happy for play to continue. Western United seemingly not wanting to put it out. So Wanderers, they're chasing this game. They're not going to show mercy here. They've got a 2-goal deficit. They are trying to pursue. Silvestre. McComiskey, Chisari. Now Price. Matos getting forward here. Danica Matos in front of Kushla Roo. And Roo's cross behind for a corner. There's Catherine Zimmerman. That is outside the field of play. She is still taking deep breaths after that heavy landing from a tangle with Talia Yunus some time ago now. Here's another look. So they were battling over the ball, and then Yunus comes back in. They tangle up. Zimmerman seemingly holding on to Yunus, and then Yunus's body weight falls onto the arm of Zimmerman, and the shoulder is hurt as a result. Here's Silvestre into the near post, and who got the last touch? Taranto's turn to stay down now. It's Adriana Taranto. There's Zimmerman still favouring that shoulder. Not good signs for Western United. Repeat corners here for the Wanderers. Silvestre strikes the corner. Was hoping for Yunus. Lagazzo came through. Chisari. Well, Amy Chisari has not scored in the Ninja A-League in 37 appearances. And that shot goes wide. Catherine Zimmerman's night is over. Amy Medwin, who's scored 2 goals this season and has played as a winger at times, is coming on. And a bit like the Sophie Harding hip injury, Catherine Zimmerman's shoulder is now a long-term concern coming out of this game.
Being replaced by number 5, Amy Medwin.
So both teams with forced changes due to injury in this second half. We've gone beyond the hour. Western United, through Carly Johnson, are off and running. Johnson bends it into the box, and it misses both the advancing Taranto and the target. Harrison in a jam and wins a goal kick. Harrison, errant pass. It sits up for Lagazzo, not quite. McComiskey clears. Oh, Western United, that was very nearly a gift, and they weren't able to make the most of it. Lagazzo. Taranto gets the better of Buchanan, and McComiskey has to concede a corner. And the Shadows now have advanced all the way across the pitch, so no squinting into the sun in this second half. There's the corner count. Grace Marr on set-piece duty. We saw her score from this exact corner against the Perth Glory 10 days ago. And we saw Sienna Silvestre score direct from this corner in the first half tonight. Can Marr match the effort? Here's Marr's corner. And it's landing on the roof of the net. So the intent perhaps was to go direct on the target, but just couldn't measure it to perfection on that occasion. Short pass out from the goal kick. McComiskey scoops it out in front of Buchanan, trying to keep it moving. And it's out off Taranto for a Wanderers throw. There's Catherine Zimmerman with the arm now in a sling. So the medical staff are at work, and a very hurt-looking Zimmerman, hopefully in good hands there, receiving medical care. That ball will have too much on it. You can see the corner flags have just sparked up a little bit with the wind in this second half. Western United attacking it with it at their backs. Harrison tries to step away from the press of Lagazzo, and then finds the right pass to get out of trouble. Price trying to flip the field with one ball. Grove led Roo to the ball here. Back pass, awkward. And Lincoln got there. There was a step in it, and Chloe Lincoln made it in the nick of time. Matos takes the throw. And it's out off the head of the most recent sub, Amy Medwin. Kushler-Rue, and another throw in. Price, Groves clearance. So a series of throw-ins and clearances at the moment. Western Sydney Wanderers trying to find the right pass into the box. This will be 5 throw-ins in quick succession here. Matos directing traffic. Hurls the ball just inside the penalty area. And now with the feet is going to follow up with the cross, and well, looked like it was bending out, and indeed the assistant referee says yes, it did go beyond the line and then bent back into the arms of Chloe Lincoln. Crowd starting to find their voice as Chloe Lincoln goes for distance here. Wanderers have at least had a bit of territorial control, but it doesn't feel like they're building significant pressure at the moment. They're not turning any territory into shots on goal at the moment. And a handball here from Chisari will allow Western United to escape their defensive third. You see there, Chisari still encouraging, full of voice. There's belief in this Wanderers team. They've got plenty of time to work with here in the game. Medwin. As far as Harrison. Medwin following up and tries to take on the defence single-handedly. Ultimately, Harrison proved a tough defender to get past, and the ball run on kindly to Combs. Price. Through a gap, Eunice, Rue away down the right. Kushler-Rue, Sasha Grove comes in, and it will be a corner. Sienna Silvesca to take the corner. Wanderers fourth. They've had a few in this second half now. Silvesca in swinger. It falls at the edge of the 6-yard box, but Taranto first to respond to drive it away. Buchanan, the only outfielder in the defensive half when she retrieved that ball. So the numbers committed forward here for Western Sydney and staying forward now, but they won't be able to do anything on the end of that pass. Grove. A hurried clearance and too much contact from Harrison on Legazzo leads to a free kick. Legazzo wasting no time. Drives it over to the right flank. Medwin trying to keep the ball in, can't do so, took the corner flag with it. Goes and returns it. Referee's just going to wait for the corner flag to be put precisely back in the ground. It's proving a bit of an issue for Maggie Price over on the outer side. Is it in the ground? Not just yet. Might need a member of the Western United ground staff to come and help out here because something's clearly gone awry. I think the word has got to the Western United bench that the game's not restarting until this corner flag is set. Here's Catherine Zimmerman sitting on said bench. Both teams will be able to use this almost as a strategic timeout here. There doesn't seem to be anyone making their way over to the outer side just yet. So we're at least a minute away, you'd think, from the game restarting. Here's another look at the incident where Catherine Zimmerman was injured. Paperwork coming in from the Wanderers bench as well, perhaps for another substitution. So that's the incident where Catherine Zimmerman had to leave the game. appears as though a replacement corner flag is being run around, so it must have broken in the ground there. And the Wanderers, in the meantime, will make a substitution. Enna Harada is going to come on here and replace Talia Yunus. So Yunus's evening ends after 70 minutes, and on comes the Japanese national Harada for what is her 14th appearance of the season. So the broken corner flag is removed and the new corner flag is ready for duty. All right, and the game can get back underway. Good work by that gentleman there to bring out the replacement. Yep, thumbs up, we're good to go. And the game will restart here with Wanderers having just made that substitution. So 20 minutes of regulation to go. And as we know, Western Sydney Wanderers, they did produce the late show on their last trip to Melbourne when they scored twice in the last 5 minutes to grab a 4-all draw against Melbourne Victory. So Western United, they're not going to sit back and invite the visitors on here. They want to press for more. Johnson looking for Lagazzo, cleared by Harrison. Medwin nodded the ball down at the edge of the box. Buchanan. Harada. Pass is intercepted by Medwin. Medwin leaving the ball with Johnson, and that cross over the head of Adriana Taranto and out for a goal kick. Rue, good first touch to bring the ball down. Matos's pass intercepted by Ma. Lincoln out of a penalty area. Well, Bronte True almost a little bit apprehensive there. Didn't want to commit completely to challenging the goalkeeper, but the ball was there to be won. And now True is going to run onto it here. Bronte True squares up and shoots straight at the keeper. Well, a couple of chances since getting subbed on Bronte True. One on the left foot, one on the right. That one foiled by Chloe Lincoln. But Wanderers, are they starting to create a little bit more? Grove, hard against the line. Wanderers get the ball back. Harada. Cesari showed a lot of the ball to Grove, but is able to go back and retrieve. Harrison. Harada. Really getting a feel for the game since coming on as a sub. Silvesca not able to find a teammate with the little flick on. Grove, and you can see the shirt stretching away from the body there. Another look at Price and Grove doing battle. Yep, there's the shirt grab. So, free kick for Western United. Adriana Taranto strikes the free kick. And it's off the head of Carly Johnson and looping out. Matos. Rue. Matos. Gracemar. Rue and Harada. Bronte True holds the ball up. Back to Harada. Harada nearly caught by Daharkiz. Sends it out to the wing. It's a foot race. Ma's got the advantage. Plays it back to Lincoln. Chloe Lincoln sweeping the left foot through the ball. Matos's header. Now Adriana Taranto. Egersvik. Carly Johnson. Out to Medwin on the right flank. Amy Medwin. And the cross, oh, it caught the woodwork. Looked like it was too close to the keeper initially, but then it kept rising and it has skimmed off the crossbar on its way out. You don't see that because even though it caught the crossbar, it continued out for a goal kick. Price to Rue. Cesari. Back to Matos. Chisari wins the ball and is going to set it out to Saveska. Saveska biding her time, wants runners. Puts it out in front of Kush LaRue. Western United have got numbers back in the box here. Rue with it all to do. Doesn't want to play it into the penalty area. Happy to reset with Harrison. Harrison. The ball slides on. Saveska! Great chance for the Wanderers. And Sienna Saveska going on her right foot has put it over the bar. Madison McComiskey's return from injury lasted 75 minutes. Her first appearance since the 10th of November back in round 2. She comes off for Maya Lobo. Here's another look at the chance. Oh, Saveska, what a good opportunity that was for the Western Sydney Wanderers to cut it back to 3-2. Maya Lobo, who's been starting the last couple of games, is on. And Carly Johnson is through, saved by Karmas. Well, that would have been a bit of a torrid introduction for the new centre-back. Here's Medwin over the bar. And the chances you feel in this last 15 minutes are just going to keep coming at both ends. Both teams willing to take risks. Western United want that 4th goal. They want to get out of sight. Western Sydney Wanderers know what they're capable of with a comeback. Confirmation that it's McComiskey off and youngster Maya Lobo, just 19 years of age, on for her 6th career appearance, but straight away was chasing back in defence, and that's a good save from Sham Karmas to foil Carly Johnson. DeHarkins. Johnson out to Medwin. Medwin stops and props. Rolls it back to Johnson. Chisari able to win the ball away. And Johnson makes a block.
I got two subs.
So Western United have watched Western Sydney Wanderers bring on all 4 of their outfield players. Now they are going to respond. New faces, fresh legs. Carly Johnson's coming off for Chiara Di Demizio, and Avani Prakash is going to be entering the game as well. And it's Adriana Taranto, 77 minutes tonight. Let's not forget, Taranto is still on the comeback trail from her ACL. So even though she stepped pretty seamlessly into the starters, full 90s, not quite yet. On comes Di Demizio here. So 2 pretty aggressive subs from Western United. They are not sitting back on their 3-1 lead by any means. Di Demizio with 1 goal this season, 2 career. Avani Prakash looking to keep things ticking over in midfield. Of course, was a former Western Sydney Wanderers train-on, Avani Prakash. Never made a bench or a first-team appearance for the club before making the move to Melbourne. Chisari. Out to the left flank it goes. Saveska puts the head down and chases, but DeHarkins has position. Mel Taranto, the only Taranto now left on the pitch. Lagazzo. Prakash, first touch for the young substitute. Medwin backs her speed. Buchanan went to ground and had to concede a corner. Amy Medwin's brought a new energy to that right flank for Western United since coming on. And another corner kick here for Grace Maher. And another chance to hit an in-swinger with the wind really having picked up in the second half. So a big defensive stand here for the Wanderers. There's the corner count. There have been plenty. Maher steps out the runner. In swinger to the near post, batted down by Karmas. Lobo's clearance finds Kush LaRue. And then Rue volunteers the ball straight back to the corner taker Maher. Second time ball coming in. Di Demizio! She's got the magic touch. Chiara Di Demizio makes it 4-1 to Western United. And would you believe, for the second time this season, her first touch after coming on as a substitute is a goal. Ma with the ball in, Di Demizio completely unmarked. She's scored 2 goals this season, both of them headers, and that was perfectly placed beyond Sham Khamis. It's a 3-goal buffer between the two teams, and the chewy is still fresh in the mouth for the sub, and she's already on the score sheet. Cannot hide her delight. Third career goal for the 23-year-old, and scoring for the first time since that match winner against Sydney FC on the 8th of December. And Western Sydney Wanderers, for all their endeavour in this second half, there's now 10 minutes of regulation to go, and they do find themselves back behind by 3, which was the case briefly as well in the first half. Long ball by Ma. Foul here on Price. Wanderers will keep chasing, but win, lose or draw, it was going to be another weekend at the foot of the Ninja A-League table. They weren't able to make a big change to their circumstances tonight. Cat Smith on track to finally get that first win against her former employers, the Wanderers. She had lost her only 2 head-to-heads previously, both of them when Robbie Hooker was still coach of the Wanderers. Sportsmanship there between Cesari and Lagazzo. That goal also means that Wanderers are now the first team to have conceded 30 this season. Western United have conceded 28, it's worth mentioning, but Wanderers do have the leakiest defence in the league, 30 conceded from 14 games. Here's Eggersvik. Grove. Di Demizio plays it out in front of Lagazzo. Lobo got a touch on it, had to. Di Demizio, a second chance here. Tried to guide it through ball. Catches a deflection off Lobo, and that means it's keeper's ball. Khamis able to dive on top of it. The goal difference situation is pretty important for Western United. That 8-2 defeat that they suffered in Tarneit against the Brisbane Roar, and also the first head-to-head, the 5-1 loss to Wanderers, meant that their goal difference had been blown up for pretty much the first half of the season. They have got it back to -1 now, so they'd love another one. They'd love to square it away at even. Tonight is game 14 of 23 in the home and away season for these sides. So plenty of time to build into the positive in the back half of the season for Western United, but they have been chasing from quite a deficit. Here's Taranto. Lagazzo. Lobo clearing for Wanderers. Grove takes the throw in. Di Demizio spins out to the corner. Has got 2 defenders for company. It's done well enough to win a throw in. Prakash. Matos's clearance, only as far as Sasha Grove. Ma. A teasing ball, and an up and under header from Lobo. Prakash went for glory, couldn't strike the volley. Bit of an air swing at the ball in the end, and it's cleared. Only as far as Sato, over the shoulder. Medwin putting the pressure on Buchanan, and Buchanan bending the ball around the line. Saveska unable to get the better of Sato. Medwin, and the ball is out for a throw. Bronte True. Didn't pulled the trigger on a pass there, had a couple ahead of the ball, but just waited. Silvestre, Harada, closed upon by the Western United midfield. Eggersvik scored one in the first half, weaving through here, tried to twist it back towards Prakash, but just couldn't get enough bend on the ball. And the referee's whistling here. We've got a player down for Western United. And it's Mel Taranto, who's a bit sore. He's got concern of her teammates here all coming in for a word before the physio can get out to assess what's wrong. Western United's remaining subs, well, remaining outfield player is Claudia Miocic, who herself is coming back from a couple of weeks off with injury. And the other player, of course, they've got available on their bench is backup goalkeeper Alyssa Daloste. Looks as though they're getting the paperwork ready for Miocic to come on. So Miocic, who last played back on the 11th of January against Canberra and was subbed out of that game with a minor glute strain. Looks like she will be coming on here for the final 5 minutes plus stoppage. You heard Kat Smith in the background there, 4 for 16. So it looks as though a 3-goal buffer is enough of a safety net here for Western United to be happy with both Tarantos leaving the game. And young Miocic will come on for the 20th appearance of her Ninja A-League career. Walking wounded out of this game tonight. Is it a hip again for a player? We've seen Harding subbed out with a hip. We've seen Zimmerman off with a shoulder injury. Now Mel Taranto looking very ginger. Of course, scored earlier in the game. Was in perfect spot at the edge of the penalty area and driving that ball through traffic. It was 2-0 after just 7 minutes. Western United have been able to use that fast start to dictate the game more or less ever since. Home fans showing their appreciation here as the sub goes through. And perhaps the biggest concern here for Western United is they have to back up and play on Wednesday. They're going to control Cyber Pitch over on the opposite side of town to take on Melbourne City. That game was originally down for Tuesday as well and has been moved back by 24 hours due to the expected extreme heat. So they will need every one of those extra 24 hours, you suspect, Western United, to assess both Mel Taranto and Catherine Zimmerman. But this game's not done just yet. Too early to turn the attention to Wednesday, with Western Sydney Wanderers trying to cut into this lead. Matos. Silvestre loads up across. Flick header on, Sato volleys away. Didamizio couldn't nod it to a teammate, but Wanderers come unstuck. Silvestre, Wanderers goal scorer. Cesari leaves the ball with Matos. Back to Harrison. Matos chasing, has got Sasha Grove wearing her like a glove, and Grove has done well, clears the ball away. I mentioned the next game for Western United is on Wednesday. Western Sydney Wanderers are back at home. They'll take on the Brisbane Roar at Wanderers Football Park on Sunday, February the 9th. Of course, those two teams met in Unite round at Kogarah, and Brisbane Roar were 4-0 winners. So Wanderers will be looking to show how much they've closed the gap since then. Eggersvik, sliced attempt to clearance. Only as far as Cesari. True. He's got Roux on the outside, and that's where the ball is going. Kushla-Roux. Back to Matos, telegraphed it a bit, and Lagazo came in to pick Matos's pocket. Lobo. Good touch by Price. Roux trying to bring the ball under control. Grove clears. Dahakis deflected out to Prakash. Navani Prakash out to the wing. Amy Medwin off and running. Medwin being pursued by Buchanan. And the cross is catching practice for Cummins. So into the last minute of regulation. It's going to be a Western United win. The question is, what will the final score be? Neither of these two teams look like slowing down. Lobo. Bit of a blind pass. Straight to Sato of Western United. Dahakis. Higginsby called for the ball in midfield. Grove. Trying to thread it through for Didamizio. We've ticked into 4 additional minutes to end the night. Didamizio. Lugazzo blocked away. Chisari. Early ball. True, chasing, but goalkeeper's got the advantage here. Chloe Lincoln watched it roll into the penalty area. Bronte True might be hoping to start the next game for the Western Sydney Wanderers with Sophie Harding out of this one, and watch this space on exactly how serious that hip injury is. Dahakis. Medwin has been on the right flank ever since getting subbed into the game. Lugazzo tried for the back heel to complete a 1-2, but not able to make forceful enough contact. 1 of 4 additional minutes have ticked by. Tumbling clearance. Sato up for the header. There's a cramp in there for Saveska, so she's trying to stretch and run it off. In the meantime, away comes Sato. Buchanan able to intercept that pass. Tries to run it back at Sato here. Ella Buchanan venturing forward. Dahakis, slide challenge, knocks the ball away. Medwin weaving around. And a long pass to no one in particular. So Western United have thrown down the gauntlet to their rivals, battling for seeding within the top 6. They jump from 7th to 4th tonight. They can still be overtaken by one of either Wellington or Brisbane and the Central Coast Mariners before the weekend is over, as True is trapped offside here. Chloe Lincoln in absolutely no hurry. A bit of an unplayable ball, out it goes. And at last, it feels as though the handbrake is coming up on this game, which has been played at a fairly rapid pace for most of the night. Ma. Lugazzo, is there one more for Western United? Lugazzo! Oh, flashing past the post, but just wide in the end. And Lugazzo, whose goal from the penalty spot got the scoring started in just the 3rd minute, nearly had the final say. Miocic. Ma, caught in possession. True, can't find a teammate with the pass. Long ball from Ma. Only seconds left to play with here. Again, Western United showing plenty of intent. They know they can square away their goal difference with one more. They're still in the negatives. They're still -1 for the season. Stoppage time is up. And job emphatically done for Western United. Chiara Di Domizio had the final say. And 2 goals in the first 7 minutes really set the tone. Western Sydney Wanderers kept chasing, but ultimately Western United stride up the ladder. They leapfrog 3 teams with a single result. And their climb into the second half of the season continues to impress. Chloe Lagazzo's penalty set the tone. Mel Taranto then followed. Sarah Eggersvik scored for the first time in the Ninja A-League. And then Chiara Di Domizio, the super sub, scored with her first touch off the bench for the second time this season. A goal from Sienna Silvesca, the only consolation in the end for a Western Sydney Wanderers team that still put their heart and soul into this one and just weren't able to close that early gap. So they remain at the foot of the table for another week. Western United get to enjoy the spoils of victory because it's finished. Western United 4, Western Sydney Wanderers 1. So let's get into the match highlights. It was a game full of goals, it always is when these two teams meet. And Carly Johnson was able to win a penalty in just the 2nd minute of play. Chloe Lagazzo stepped up and Sham Karmas going in the opposite direction as Lagazzo stroked that into the back of the net. So 1-0. And then in the 7th minute, the initial defensive header away from Wanderers, only as far as Mel Taranto. 2 goals in 10 days for her. And a really nice strike to get it through all that traffic and find the back of the net. 2-0 and tone set for Western United. They were in control at that point. Wanderers would steady, but the 3rd goal was pretty devastating. Sarah Eggersvik rising to meet Grace Maher's corner, and that was 3-0. But Western Sydney Wanderers would give themselves something to take into the halftime rooms. Sienna Silvesca, this Olympico goal direct from the corner, as good a corner as you'll see. And that was a ray of hope for the Wanderers as they went in at halftime. Silvesca's amazing record of 5 goals in 4 games against Western United continuing. But this was what made it safe. Chiara Di Domizio's first touch off the bench. Grace Maher with 2 assists on the night, nodded into the net. And Di Domizio doing what all good strikers off the bench do. Come on, make an impact and score. So what do the underlying numbers say about that 4-1 scoreline? Well, possession was 50-50 in the end, but look at that. 27 shots to 7, 11 on target to 4. Very combative game. Western United won the duels, they won the tackles, and they will feel as though they are deserving winners at the end of this one. They leave with a little boost to the goal difference, which is nearly squared away at level after 14 games of the season.